So now I've got my whole chain made out this way. Let's go ahead and attach our one last link down here. We're going to go ahead and once again grab our, nope, not that button. Grab our mate tool. We're going to go bore to bore, advanced mates, width mate, our two widths, our two tabs. Okay. So now we've got our entire chain length made up. That's going to be the main portion of it. So remember how earlier I was talking about how we want to stick with mates and relationships that are realistic, can happen in real life. So if you look at these, you can notice that there's something severely wrong with this setup. And what's severely wrong with this setup is, in real life, there's absolutely nothing holding these together, right? So if you remember back to our lesson, we do have those components. Those are going to be the rivet components. We've got I don't remember what they're called, the head and the, whatever. We'll find them in just a second. So let's go ahead and start creating our ribbons, or our rivets. So we're going to do this by pulling in the two halves of our rivets. So let's go ahead and click the Insert Component button. And the first one we're going to do is we're going to hit the pin head. I'm going to hit Open. Now, instead of having to go through all that dialog again, I'm going to use the pin or the Keep Visible in a different way this time. So I'm going to hit Keep Visible, because remember before, if you don't hit that, the entire tool closes out and you have to go through all that again. So this is the pin head. I'm going to go ahead and click. Now with that clicked once, you can see that I'm done with that one. I've got my one. I'm not going to put any more down yet. We will do that in a second. So now I'm going to deselect Keep Visible. I'm going to hit my Browse button. And I'm going to click my alignment pin. Hit Open. And I can drop the alignment pin in. And hit my green check mark. So now I'm done. I could put both of those in without having to exit the tool. It's always nice to be able to keep those steps down. If you can think ahead a little bit and not close a tool out, or keep a tool from closing if you need that tool later on, it's a good thing to use to speed up your process a little bit. So now let's go ahead and put these rivets or these pins down in where we need them. But you can see, like, it doesn't, I can drag them around and stuff, but they're not really going to go exactly where I need them. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and move them. So one thing to kind of keep in mind with these is they don't always go in the exact same way that you want them to, and they don't always move in the same orientation or way that you want them to. So I'm going to go ahead and let's start with the alignment pin here. I'm going to select this because we're going to put these in just like we put the other ones in, kind of based off of real life. We've got these cylindrical bores through here, and we've got our cylinders here. We're going to go ahead and put these cylinders in here using a coincident mate. But first, let's go ahead and put the pin together, just because it's a little bit easier with them outside here. So I'm going to click on the shaft of our pin head. I'm going to hit the S tool to get to our mate tool. Again, you can go up here under the ribbon, enter our mates, and I'm going to click on here. This is the shaft of our alignment pin. So I'm going to click there, and you can see that it's moved those together. So I can hit my green check mark, and now those are together, but they're still not seated this way. But that's okay. We don't want them seated this way, because in real life, these aren't going to, like this face here and this face here aren't always going to be intersecting. That's not what actually places those. It's going to be the seat heads right here, the bottom of the heads, based on the bottom of the bore in here. So let's go ahead and align the cylinder first. So I'm going to go ahead and click on this cylinder. Then I'm going to click on the inside diameter of one of these bores. It could be any of these. It could be this one. It could be the head. It could be this little section right here. I'm just going to click on this one because it's the biggest. Okay, and it's going to drop it like that. Now say that this is not the orientation I want. I don't want the single pin, or I don't want this pin out here. I want the alignment pin on this side. So if I come down to either this quick access toolbar here, or over here where it says Mate Alignment in my toolbar, I can click the other one. You can see the one on the right-hand side is what's highlighted. If I click the one on the left-hand side, it's going to flip the whole thing around. Now, it's okay that it flipped it around like this, that this guy is still over here, and this guy is over here. It's the orientation overall to the world that we're interested in at this point. Because, again, remember, these things can slide in and out. We can slide those back through into the other side. So I'm going to go ahead and hit my green check mark, and then we're going to shift those around a little bit. I'm going to grab this one. This is the alignment pin. I'm going to pull it out this way, and then I'm going to bring this pin and toss it over there. Okay? So now you can see we've got our 2 pins on either side of our joint here. They are both coincident with the center, which means that they are kind of locked in. And next we want to go ahead and seat them. So to seat them, we're going to click on the bottom, this bottom face of our pin counter bore. And then I'm going to rotate around, and I'm going to click on the bottom of the head on the pin. When I click those, you can see that it's going to go ahead and seat that pin in there. I'm going to do the same thing for this side. I'm going to click on the seat of the pin, click on the base of that counter bore, and now you can see that they are mated. So I'm going to do a quick section view here to kind of show you guys exactly what we're looking at. That way. Okay. So this is a cross section of that. Here you can see our single link in green. You can see our double link in kind of this bronzy color here. You can see our alignment pin, and then you can see our pin head. Okay. So now you can see that these are all coincentric with this bore. We've got a bottom out here, we've got a bottom out here, and then these do seem to actually bottom out here, but technically they wouldn't need to. That could be short and it would still be properly aligned and mated. So that's what we're looking at as far as the overall orientation of everything goes. I'm going to go ahead and hit my section view to get back out of that. Okay, and then we want to go ahead and continue that mate pattern. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on these really quick. And so let's, yeah, actually I'm not going to do that yet because I need to test that first. So go ahead and do that, and go on to the next video. I'll check and see if this other thing works, and then we'll meet up there. See you in the next video.